So I'm Joe Bilton, and I do big war games essentially. This is the Battle of Montcornet, which is France 1940, and this is a game of What a Tanker. So it's 8-player multiplayer tank game. It's one of the only battles in the early war in France that has a lot of tanks involved in it. So essentially what happens in this battle is the French have been on the back foot. They're trying to establish a new defensive line, and so de Gaulle put together a brand new unit of tanks gathered from various regiments and pushed them against the Germans. So it's one of the only times you end up with a big concentration of French armour in one area in one battle. And so I thought, for What a Tanker, which is a tank game, it would make sense to have the biggest tank, well, I don't know if it's the biggest one, but a notable tank battle from the fall of France. The starting point is essentially look at a map and decide historically what area is involved in the battle, but also what would make an interesting table in terms of where to crop the thing. So this table, this is almost like a reduced footing of the Montcornet table. So I've brought in the train station about 100 metres closer so that it fits on the table, and I've moved a couple of farms here and there, but largely the layout is the historical layout of the thing. And then I start planning what buildings I need for it, and I start building or printing or scratch building the buildings, and planning the forces, and just sort of goes from there. Historical in itself, I guess, I suppose it highlights actions and combats that you might not have heard of. Right? So, obviously everyone's heard of notable battles, but historical war gamers, are keen to pick out battles that you haven't necessarily heard of, battles that are important but smaller. And so I guess it gives you more exposure to those things. It lets you put yourself in the shoes of someone involved in the battle, and you have a go with it.